Hello there YouTube, this is Bad Fat Panda here. I'm going to be bringing you guys a Domination on Wasteland today. And, well, I'm going to start off by talking about this little spot that I'm going to right here. If you're lucky enough to spawn at the A-spawn, which we did, unfortunately I had to cut out the first like 20 seconds or so because this match was a little bit over. But here, if you can set up shop with an assault rifle, you can just pwn everybody. It's not even fair. I don't know if you guys have found this yet, probably you have, but if you have a weapon with very low recoil and relatively good range and power, you can sit there and you can get a nuke very easily. The reason I say that is because on ground war there will be people flowing there constantly. 9 times out of 10 the enemy will capture the B flag first, so they will actually spawn relatively close to this location and just keep rushing you, and you have very little exposed of your body, your head mainly. In that position, and you can just absolutely wreck people. I get nukes there constantly. This is probably one of my favorite maps to get a nuke on. Unfortunately, I didn't have the Killstreaks set up this match, and I'm not really a big fan of nukes in general, so I tend to only do it when I need to record some, and I have a couple recorded, including a how-to nuke guide by me, Bad Fat Panda, coming up eventually, so you can have that to look forward to. But here I'm using the FAL, and although I'm using it because I want to level up weapons, I'm also using it because it's a beast of a gun. It's like the M14 back in COD 4, but like the difference between that and the FAL is because I can actually use this gun. I hated the M14, but this one actually runs out of ammo pretty fast. Unfortunately, I get an unlucky streak of getting like 3 assists at this spot, so I have to move around. Don't be one to poke your head up at this spot. Even if you think it's safe, because you will get shot by a sniper. And I actually see the guy scrambler. I get that quick kill, and then I run back out. But the FAL, I happen to be using with Bling and a silencer on this match. The FAL, though, one of the added benefits, that and the UMP and the WA2K for the sniper rifle, do have absolutely no benefit from stopping power whatsoever. If you pop a silencer on there, it will be a 3-shot kill at any range. If you leave it without a silencer, it'll be a 2-shot kill at any range, or at short range. Sorry, don't want to get ahead of myself there. But the only reason that you would use stopping power is because it's a 1-shot kill at close range with a headshot. I don't know how you guys feel about the FAL, but I feel that if I'm going to be using assault rifle, I don't want to necessarily rely on headshots as a 1-shot kill, rather than just go and spray a couple bullets, because that's what it's there for. Here I'm actually using the Killstreak setup. You may see a Harrier strike, and you may be wondering why aren't you going for a nuke if you got a Harrier strike. Well, I'm actually going for 7, 8, and 9 Killstreak, which is quite amazing. The 7, 8, 9 Killstreak, I just unlocked emergency airdrop, so I have a couple gameplays recorded with it, as I've probably already told you in previous videos. But the 789 kill streak, it's great. You get the Harrier Airstrike. Generally, you save the Harrier Airstrike. This is my philosophy on using 789 as a kill streak. So you get a Harrier Airstrike, you don't call it in. You get another kill, get an emergency airdrop, and then call in the emergency airdrop in a location of your choosing, and then sit back a little bit, and get any of the powerful kill streaks, say that there's a Pavelow or a chopper gunner sitting there, grab those, leave the rest. When you see that your spawns have changed and your friends, if they haven't gotten the rest of the kill streaks, happen to meander over there, then wait for the enemy, and then call in a Harrier Airstrike on the emergency airdrop location. And you get a ton of kills, and it's quite nice, because you may think that, well, why wouldn't I use a AC-130 or a tactical nuke with this setup, but it gets a fair amount of kills and allows me to stay mobile. I'm not a big fan of the 11 kill streaks because I like to run around and get kills while I'm having my kill streaks do the work for me. And here, I'm not sure what those guys are doing. The other guy, I'm pretty sure, is a dead leg of some guy. But I'm also using a Claymore here. I tend to be using more Semtex when I'm not using Scavenger. But here I sort of defy my original logic and use a Claymore. They are pinned back in the C-spawn, but I know from experience that they will be spawning over to the right of where I'm pointing at right now. That guy probably has a tactical insertion up in there. I don't know why I couldn't kill him with the first couple shots. I must have hit the sand, and, well, I guess we all know how sand blocks bullets. That's sort of weird, but whatever. Here I'm trying to actually pin them in their spawn and go on a nice little kill streak, because that's what I like to do. There are two philosophies I have toward approaching Afghan as a map. It is probably one of my favorite maps, because the kill streaks are just incredibly overpowered on this map, almost as much as Wasteland, because the enemy will always spawn outside of a cave or building. There's only one spawn, I think back here at the B spawn, that they actually spawn inside that little building with the gas tanks. And because of that, if you get an AC-130, which I will show you on a free-for-all match, I go 30-1 or 30-2 I think, using Harrier Airstrike Pavelow AC-130 because that is so overpowered. And it's just, it wrecks people. You can easily get quads popping one into the back of the cave, in the front of the cave, or just mopping up their spawn in ground war especially. So here I got my Harrier Airstrike, and I'm definitely going to cap A. That's why I came down here, because we lost A. And it's definitely not advantageous to run out here and get the A spawn when you know that they're spawning up at this little, I don't know how you would describe it, but it's a little plateau on top of the, right behind the cave, I guess. And you probably all know that spawn. Unfortunately, they have actually captured B. My team is not good this map, so I have to do the work for them. Happily enough, I get my Pavelow to do it. But the B spawn, you will see a lot of people, like snipers and stuff, camping in that little building that my team is currently huddled in right now, and they don't necessarily worry about the spawns or the flags. And they got screwed by it, so I'm running around to capture C, because C is higher ground, and if we have that, I notice that I have a lot of snipers on my team. So I'm pretty sure that if we have that spot, that we will do pretty well. Here they're trying to find where I am, unsuccessfully, because I'm using, actually no, I'm using Hardline for this, because the FAL does not need stopping power. So I am using Bling Pro, sorry, Hardline Pro, and Ninja Pro probably. I just happened to pull out this UMP. I was thinking I was using Cold-Blooded because my UMP class is always a Cold-Blooded class. So here I pop my emergency airdrop down, see what goodies I can get this time. I think I do okay with it, but not the greatest. 2 Predator missiles and 2 sentry guns. The sentry guns, it was almost like a cold-blooded lobby, and I will take anything with a 5 kill streak or more, so I was sort of sorry to let that guy sit out in the dust there, but he was not doing work, so I didn't want to give him my kill streaks. I noticed that there's a guy in this sniper building right there, and somebody on my team is already taking care of him. But there are a couple others approaching. If you can pop a sentry gun right on that corridor, it will do work for you. Unfortunately, it doesn't do enough work for me, so I have to go out and get some more kills by myself. And I'm going to run around this side to the C spawn, because I know that by chance they will actually be spawning in a combination of these 2 locations, because my team is actually pressing them on the other side. So I'll pull out my shotgun and try and do some work, but unfortunately I get killed by some guy who jumps onto the mattresses near the plane. And if you're not one to know about those mattresses yet, you can actually jump off without commando and save your life. Actually, most areas on sub-base and snow maps like derail as well. If you land in a snow pile, you won't take any damage, so keep a lookout for that the next time you're there. I have a lot of people using Last Stand on this map. I tend to run into a lot of those people, and you may be wondering why I'm so angry about it, but it just does make me angry. But I won't declare anything about that right now. I'll get right back into the gameplay. So here I still have both Predator missiles, and I try and actually get a nice spawn kill here, but it doesn't quite work for me. I see that there's a couple people there. I don't know why I missed that, probably because I put the burst on too soon. Don't be quick to put the burst on. I do it enough times that I get pissed off by it. So there, I actually missed 2 Predator missiles. My teammate gratefully killed one of them that was under my attack. So here, they're spawning back at the C flag now, and I can tell that because somebody has put up a UAV. That guy, the FAL you cannot hit fire with. I don't know what I was thinking there. It's unfortunate. That's because the other thing I like to use on the FAL besides Bling Pro is Sleight of Hand Pro, and this is actually the first game with this lobby, so I wasn't sure what second perk I would need to use. I do switch it out occasionally depending on my lobby. This one I probably could have switched out Hardline, switched out Bling Pro for the other one, the Sleight of Hand perk. The reason for that is because I tend to live longer when I can quick scope in faster, and that's always nice. I don't necessarily need a silencer because the other team doesn't sort of have any opinion on going after silenced weapons. The reason I say that is because if you were to look at the red dot that appears on the minimap, there are going to be two types of lobbies that you play against. There's one that runs straight toward the red dot, and there's another one that sort of backs away and scopes it out after a bit very cautiously that you can easily go around and flank and kill. This is that lobby. So I'm not going to be, I don't necessarily need a silencer on my weapons. I was playing around with the UMP without a silencer earlier, so I know that I went on a pretty good kill streak with one, so I'm not necessarily rushing to go do that again. Well, if you like this commentary, it is coming to a close, so feel free to post a comment. Kill-death ratio is not the greatest, but it was a fun gameplay, so I hope you enjoyed it, and peace out.